Well, good evening. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I'm here to greet you, and I want to congratulate you because your timing's perfect. The business climate out there couldn't be more exciting. We hear all kinds of things on the news, pros and cons and all that. But you drive the highways. I'm from Akron, Ohio, or actually Cleveland, Ohio. And if you drive the roads out here like we did today, there is business activity is going crazy all over the state of Ohio and the Midwest. And I say that the business climate is perfect. Everyone's excited. 62% of Americans want to be in business for themselves. 72% of the millennials want a business of their own, but they're looking for ways. How can they do that? Well, the good news is we have a speaker tonight who's going to talk about that. He's going to talk, we're going to give us an overview, like a 30,000 feet flyover overview of what we're talking about tonight. And then we believe you're going to get intrigued. We believe you're going to get excited about what you're going to see. The idea is to keep your interest, and then you get back with the person that invited you here tonight. So anyway, so I say that it's my great privilege to introduce our speaker tonight. He's from actually Phoenix, Arizona, where it's not even 115 degrees yet. Before he got on here, he said it's in the 80s. That's unusual for Phoenix. Beautiful. I read a quote, and it said, "Leaders are the ones who have the courage to go first and open the path for others to follow." Well, our speaker is such a man tonight, and he's one of the greatest students of the business I know. He practices what he preaches. As a matter of fact, you'll hear a couple of his own testimonies of what this has done for him in ways. It's just amazing. And so what we're going to do, he's going to talk to us, and I'll come back in the very end, and we're just to do a real close, short close. So here he is from Phoenix, Arizona, Jeff and Judy Ward fame. Jeff Ward. It's short.
Well, thanks, Gary. We always say Ward like in Montgomery or mental, but yeah, we're really excited to be with you tonight, and I can't tell you what a pleasure and how excited I am to be introduced by Gary Libby, who's one of my heroes and mentors, somebody we've known, Judy and I have known for a long time. And his wife is Judy. My wife is Judy. Mine's with an I. His is with a Y. But we obviously married above our grade, and so we're very lucky to have found the partner in life that we have. But I'm excited. I don't want to take any more time. I want to get right into what we're going to tell you about. But before I start, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and where I'm coming from. Years ago, I went to college 5 years. And went out to get a job, and basically I've had many jobs. I don't know how many people you've known that have had multiple jobs over their lifetime, but I'm one of those people. I've done just about everything you can think of, from managing a huge pet store with 20 full-time employees to putting together hog confinement buildings in Iowa. That was kind of a stinky job, but that's one of the things I did. And then as I raised my family, I had to make more money and kind of expand our income in order to do the things we needed to do and had to do. I got into some other things, managing paint stores and selling construction paint and supplies. I was a print salesman for a while. Did a lot of sales jobs. Really funny that what I'm going to show you tonight, if you're not a salesperson, you have an advantage over people that are salesy. Because one of the things I kind of have to unlearn in my approach to our kind of business is to not really sell it. It's really just a personal testimony to people in terms of the benefits of health, the benefits of income, the benefits of security and mentorship and training and learning. You have to kind of unlearn trying to sell people things. So we're not here to sell you anything tonight. We're here to really expose an opportunity to you. So that's what we want to share with you. I will tell you that as I go through this presentation, keep in mind that a year and a half ago, I weighed about almost 100 pounds more than I do right now. And so what I'm going to show you tonight is a way to not only create income or security for yourself. Some people would refer to it as becoming independently wealthy, but I'm going to show you a way to become independently healthy. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint, hopefully. I'll have to rely on you guys to tell me if I've actually succeeded in that or not. Oh, I got to share my screen. You need to do that first. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay. Let's go up here and move this thing. Let me know if you're seeing my slides. Gary, can you see the slides? Okay, Let me start it. A little slow. Open. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oop, sorry. Back up a little bit here. Wrong way. Anybody can do this, you can tell it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is talk about a better you. You know, how can you benefit yourself? By benefiting yourself, you benefit a lot of other people. You can help people to benefit themselves. Thus the name of our general umbrella company, BeneYOU. So we're going to talk about that. You know, it's interesting. Some of the facts that have come to light about society these days. 43 million people in the United States live below the poverty line. Kind of hard to believe. 18 to 35% of all Americans are classified as depressed. Do you know anybody, maybe yourself, that sometimes feels depressed or anxious, maybe has trouble sleeping, worries about money or some of the different things that you need to do, but not sure if you have enough time or money to do it? 90% of Americans, what a shock this is really when you think about it, but we understand that we know this is true, cannot afford a $400 emergency without the use of a credit card. How often do you see people that cannot afford to handle an emergency? They have to call a friend, a neighbor, a relative, something like that. Maybe you've been in that situation yourself. Understand, we're just not really trained to handle money very well, honestly. But 95% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck their entire life. 62% of Americans, 72% of millennials, they want to start their own business, as Gary was alluding to, but they fear the lack of capital. This is a way to help you do that. A gentleman by the name of Robert Kiyosaki wrote a best-selling book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad years ago. His second book was called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And basically, Robert separated the human race into four categories. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see employees, self-employed. These are people that are actually trading their life, trading their time for money, okay? And if they stop doing what they're doing, they quit getting paid, the money dries up. Now, on the right-hand side of the quadrant, there are business owners. These are people that have like at least 200 or 300 employees, or investors. And these people have found a way to make time and money both work for themselves. In other words, they found a way to create income where they don't always have to be applying themselves. They don't always have to be active to generate that income. They've done something one time that generates an ongoing income over and over again. Very simple question. If you have a choice, if you could actually decide and make it happen, what side of the quadrant do you want to be on? Obviously, you're going to want to be on that right side. You're going to want to be a business owner that's independent and has created enough leverage to free up your time, or you're going to want to be an investor, obviously. So one of the things we're going to show you tonight is a way to do that, become independently wealthy, very honestly, or at least have the amount of income you need to do the things you want to do. So probably the most critical thing in life, really, is to figure out why, you know, what your why is, you know, what drives you, what motivates you to do what you do. You know, I think in the television age, a lot of us have, I think a lot of people have kind of become hypnotized by television and entertainment. So we typically, after doing what we think we should do, which is go to work, trade some time for some money, we go home or whatever, and we are looking for ways to, quote, entertain ourselves. And we're giving up a large part of our life thinking that we're recovering from the daytime job that we've been doing in order to do it the next day by simply kind of going brain dead and watching TV. I know I was in that category for a long time. I don't know if you know anybody like that, but life will pass you by. And time is the one thing you're not going to ever get. You can't generate more time. Time is valuable. We have a limited amount of time while we're on planet Earth. This is a way to generate money, but you're not going to be able to generate more time. Just free up your time by having enough money and enough leverage to do the things you want to do. So we're going to show you how to do that. But think about, you know, what your most important whys are and how much income you would need to achieve those whys, those dreams, those goals in your life. Maybe it's you want to be able to take multiple vacations a year, pay off debt. Maybe you want to help your mom and your dad put a new roof on their house, or you need a new car, you need to buy a car for your wife. You know, what are those things you really want to do? Travel more. Maybe you want to buy a boat, have a second home, a cabin up in the mountains. I'll tell you, when it's 115 in July and August in Arizona, You know, having a second home, like a nice log cabin up in the mountains with a stone fireplace, nestled off in the woods next to a big shimmering lake. I think that would be a nice thing to have. Probably be a great way to spend those hot summers. And so, you know, you got to think about what the reason why. Why would you want to do something, you know, more than what you're doing right now? You know, we're part of the direct sales industry. And last year, or actually 2 years ago, in 2017, the direct sales industry generated $189.6 billion in revenue. So you can imagine, obviously it works. So try to imagine how big of a piece of that pie you would like. We have a stepping stone, a way for you to carve out your own piece of the pie and take home some of that 189.6 billion. And so we're going to get into that in just a second, but think about the amount of income that's being produced. Some people are making enormous amounts of money. Some of the people that Judy and I get the privilege, the honor really to work with, and you'll have the honor to work with too if you're seeing this for the first time, or if you're just starting to get involved with us. You'll have the opportunity to work with people that have literally been financially free and been a part of generating these kinds of revenues over the last 30, 40 years. And they become experts, really. They become proficient at understanding how this industry works and how to generate money, which leads to generating more free time to do the things you want to do. More than 116 million people around the world are involved in direct selling. Interesting statistics. U.S. stats, approximately, now this is kind of depressing, but there's a reason why I'm going to talk about this. Approximately 70% of people who join a direct sales company never sign anyone up or place a second order. Have you ever heard anybody respond negatively to when people talk about multi-level marketing, direct sales, network marketing? Anybody ever had a negative response to somebody using that phraseology? Well, that's because people have maybe tiptoed into something and not been successful at it. And probably, usually, typically not even their fault, because they didn't have the right mentorship. Maybe it wasn't the right opportunity. Nearly 90% of direct sellers earn no money at all. So what's the winning solution? That's really where BeneYOU, the umbrella company that we're working with right now, that's where it comes into play in terms of how they've changed the way they changed the paradigm, the way people can think about, should think about generating more income. They've created a system. And I want to describe, you should write this down. If you've got a pen and a paper handy, write down this, you know, what system stands for. I just found this out a couple days ago, and I love this acronym. System: save yourself time, energy, money. System: save yourself time, energy, money. Could you go out and do any of these things? Could you go out and start your own online business? Could you create a social media platform on Facebook and maybe try to find a product and try to pitch it or sell it on Facebook? Sure, you could. Could you create a retail business like a McDonald's? Sure. You just have to come up with $1 million or so and buy the land and go to McDonald's school and hire a bunch of employees and hire a bunch of lawyers and and buy a bunch of inventory and be trained. And then you're going to be watched to make sure you do everything exactly right. And honestly, the McDonald's owners, Judy and I know some McDonald's owners, until you own 2 or 3 or 4 of them, you're kind of trapped by those McDonald's. You're going to be there almost every day watching over your people, making sure they do everything right. It's kind of interesting. Could you do fundraisers? Sure. Trade shows, events. Could you have party sales, invite people over and try to sell them something in your house? Sure. Could you build teams of people? You probably could do that. But here's the deal. We actually, through our system and the mentorship that we have within the BeneYOU system, we've already perfected the ways to do these. All you have to do is be coachable and teachable. If you're coachable enough and teachable enough, want to learn what people have done who have already achieved enormous financial success and often health success as well. I'll talk about that here in a minute. You can plug into our system and take advantage of these people who are willing to put their time, their expertise, their experience into helping you achieve the same kinds of success that they've had over the years. So we have, we've actually perfected, in essence, the model for duplicating the success of others within this system. So take advantage of the system. Save yourself time, energy, money. So 3 brands coming together. BeneYOU is this umbrella company. We like to think of it as helping you become a better you. And we're a house of brands, not a branded house, a house of brands. So we have really an unlimited potential in terms of the products and the things that we can bring into our umbrella company and make them available to the public. You know, we can take the newest, the best, the most most fabulous nutritional type products or beauty products or personal development products, and we can take the absolute best forms of those products and make them available in our system for you to take advantage of, your friends, your neighbors, and the people that you want to talk to our system about. And so there's a proof of concept. We've already proven that this works. These three companies that came together, Jamberry, M Global, and Avicay, that the icons on the screen represent those three companies, and they have already developed huge, call them clientele or independent business owners who have actually experienced these products and already built large businesses. And now we've all come together to become even more powerful, economies of scale. So hundreds of millions of dollars sold through these companies, huge market demand, as I just mentioned, nutrition, beauty, personal development, 16 countries around the world. How would you like to have a business in 16 countries around the world? You don't even know who those people are in those countries, but your network of people that you've helped develop expands into these countries and generates income for you. Imagine what that would be like. I want you to think about that tonight as you're going to sleep. Think about what it would be like to wake up and realize your Japanese arm of your business just exploded. This is an opportunity that's all about you. You know, where you want to go, your why, what you want to see your life turn out to be. Personalized nutrition. I got to tell a personal story here real quick, but personalized nutrition, this is really what, I'll be very honest, 3.5 years ago or so when Judy and I saw this opportunity and we got involved, we did it because we wanted to make money, and we knew that Social Security was approaching. We realized that probably Social Security income wasn't going to allow us to have the lifestyle that we really wanted to have. So a friend of ours, a good friend, a mentor, somebody we have the most respect for on planet Earth, a guy by the name of Rob Terrell. Hope you get a chance to meet him someday. But he came by our house, sat down, and showed us this system, at least in that incarnation. He showed us this system. We got excited about it and jumped in all 4 feet. And then we found out that the products themselves actually sold themselves. They changed our lives. We started using them, and in doing so, I was personally able to eliminate. I'm just going to tell you my personal story, and I would recommend you get on all of the Avicay and the M Global products, and if you're certainly if you're a female, the Jamberry products. But by using the nutritional products, I was able to eliminate all symptoms from my lifetime asthma, which I suffered from my entire life. Able to lose about 100 pounds. I got rid of my migraine headaches, which have been bugging me for 20 years. Got rid of the allergies and the hay fever, and muscle cramps at night that would wake me up. Those all went away. And at the time, I was taking 8 prescription drugs. Does anybody out there think that taking lots of prescription drugs is a really great way to move your physical body towards a state of health? I got to tell you, it's not, because it just simply masks things, and you have side effects from those prescription drugs. That's my opinion. And I'm not telling you to change anything. Go to your doctor and check first. But I'll tell you, it changed our lives, because in over 3 years, we haven't taken. I eliminated prescription drugs 3 years ago. Haven't taken any in 3 years. No over-the-counter drugs. No prescription drugs. Lost 100 pounds. Feel like I'm in my 20s or 30s. Energy through the roof, sleep like a baby. I mean, imagine becoming independently wealthy as you become independently healthy. So you can see the different things that the products will do. I'm just going to flip through this real quick. Gut health, really important. Gut health affects everything in your entire body, from your skin, digestion, autoimmune diseases, all kinds of things can be taken care of if you just get your gut health right. Well, nobody else in the world, let alone this kind of company, really has a gut health regimen like BeneYOU does through the Avicay line. Energy and focus, something that helps kind of get your mood into in the right, brings your mood to the right level, and creates clarity of thought so as you can think properly, and doesn't allow you to have these big ups and downs in terms of mood during the day. Well, also, even though it's giving you energy during the day, it will help you sleep better at night. It's just absolutely amazing. nootropics. They call this the smart supplement. They're actually designed to help increase your cognitive health, make your brain work better. Fantastic products. Weight management. I almost feel like I'm a PhD or an expert in weight management just because of all the weight that both Judy and I have both lost. Judy's also lost like 65 pounds. Between us, we've kind of lost an entire human being. Yeah, imagine that. So anyway, it's kind of an amazing thing. But you can't look at the boxes and understand what that really means. You got to order the products, take them consistently, and you'll experience all kinds of life transformation. Here are some examples of people before and afters losing weight. I know most of those people personally and watched them lose that weight just like we did. Amazing. Here's Jamberry. I'll be very honest with you. I don't use Jamberry nail wraps. I don't know if Gary does or maybe some of these other guys, but most guys don't. Although Penn and Teller, the magicians, the one guy, the tall guy, he actually has one nail that he puts a wrap on. I don't quite get that. Oh, going the wrong way. Sorry. Oh, going the wrong way. Back up. Here we go. And personalized beauty, skincare, there's a product called Reveal. I do use Reveal. I put it on in the shower before I take my shower in the morning. It's great for my skin. I've had all kinds of skin issues over my life, probably due to allergies and things and bad gut health. And Reveal's fantastic. It really helps heal your skin. Now we're back to I'm going the wrong way again. I'll fix that. Sorry, guys. Hit the wrong button. Again, you don't have to be a genius to do this business. Business owner success systems, BOSS. We love BOSS. BOSS is an educational system, personal development, teaching and training. It just fills in those gaps that people never filled as you were educated in the high schools and colleges and life itself. And we've got the best trainers, the best mentors in the BOSS system to train you about how to do anything you want to do, whether it's contacting people, changing the way you think in order to create positive outcomes, positive ways to think in order to get things done, accomplish things. Strategies for residual and passive income. You want to be on the BOSS system. We have a great system for that. The personal store, you're going to set up your personal store, your BeneYOU store. It'll have your name on it. You get your own replicated website. There's 2 ways to earn, actually 3, but I'll cover these 2. 2 ways to earn from your personal store. Retail profit, you earn 100% of the difference between retail and wholesale. And every time someone buys from your store, you win 10 to 30% depending on the volume. For every 500 sales points over 1,500, you earn an additional $50. 100% of people who do at least one business activity each month earns commissions. That's not true of many, many different kinds of businesses within this industry. It also has a true retail business model. There's no gimmicks. When a product sells as a result of your efforts, you get paid. So this kind of just goes through the 10 to 30% and the level of sales points that you need or store points that you need in order to achieve those commissions. We like to build teams of people. The people I work with, like Mr. Gary Libby, we have been mentors of Gary and Tyler and Randy and Valerie Haugen and Rob Terrell and Jan Hayball and probably leaving out some names. People that are there's nobody better on planet Earth at building teams of people, at putting glue together, holding people together, teaching them how to create massive amounts of volume just by simply using our own products, having maybe a bit of retail on the side for people that aren't interested in becoming an independent business owner. But they're experts at doing it, how to communicate, how to inspire really people within the team. They are experts at that, and they're willing to teach us, and there's no better place to learn. The total payout, residual pay is through 11 levels, 43%. Help someone open their own store, you 10% override on everything they sell through the store. When they help someone, you get a 9% override, and so forth and so on. Here's an example of what that means as the volume expands and goes deeper and wider and deeper. You can see that I'm not going to go into detail of this. You can, the person that invited you, get with them, and they'll go over the detail of how these commissions are paid out. The leadership pay, take 5% of BeneYOU's worldwide sales volume. That's all the volume in all 16 countries, and then they divide up that 5% based on a growth model that they use. So you want to get into sharing on the the leadership bonus. Those with 25,000 in team sales, 500 store points, you're eligible for the leadership bonus pool. And I think it was a couple months ago, I think it may have been Tyler that mentioned that the smallest check was like $600 and the largest check was $16,000. I don't know, but I'm all for that. At the end of the month, right now, the people I currently work for don't send me bonus checks like that. Even $6 they don't send me, let alone 600 or 16,000. So it's pretty fantastic. Here's a master strategy. Randy Haugen, probably the greatest master strategist in this industry ever, talks about this. Well, all we need to do is create teams, three teams with 25,000 points in them. By the time we get that done, our income is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood, let's say, of $100,000 in residual passive income. That's a little bit better than Social Security pays out. We're really excited about that. I want to mention one thing before I talk about why we do these things. But I was telling Gary just before we started the meeting tonight that mark in your calendar, write this down. April 5th, 2019 is a really important date, one of the most important dates maybe in the history of the world, because honestly, on that date, digital online sales surpassed brick and mortar sales. Okay, it's never going to go back. It's just going to keep going. Brick and mortar is going to keep going down, and digital online sales are going to keep rising. And guess what? The business models and the plans that we have within our BeneYOU businesses that you would own are a lot of it is focused on digital online sales and connecting like we are tonight on Zoom via a digital vehicle. So that's kind of where we're focused. But before I turn it back to you, I want you to think about what you do with the amount of whatever income you have in your mind that would allow you to potentially walk away from your job. I'm not saying you don't like your job. Maybe you love your job, but you might have a family and you might like your family better than you like your job. You might want to spend more time with them, do things with them, go on vacations, go fishing, go playing, take a trip, buy a motor coach and travel the world. Maybe go up to Libby camps. Tyler and Gary can talk about that. One of the dreams that Judy and I have is to visit them in Libby camp someday. But whatever your dream is, maybe it's just being able to invest time helping other people or putting your money into a place where it can help other people. But think tonight, write down the list of dreams you and your wife, or you by yourself, or you and a friend, or you and your family. Sit down at the kitchen table and just write down the things you really want to do if time and money weren't getting in the way. Write down a list of 4 or 5 of the most important things you'd really like to do, because we have a vehicle to allow you to achieve that kind of success, and we'll work with you to help you achieve it. So that's all I really wanted to share with you tonight. I'm going to turn it back to Gary Libby. Gary, take over.
Wonderful, Jeff. Great job, sir. And I love the fact that you talk about a smart partnership. I just heard that statistic tonight that you said where more products and services are moved online than they are through brick and mortar. That changes everything. So you thought, well, maybe I'll get a second job or a third job. I'm doing fine. Well, always something else I can do. Well, perhaps, but it's online. Everything's moving, everything's changing. And what I love about what we do, it's so flexible. What we do, the products, services, the house of brand, all that's so flexible. Whatever people buy, however they buy it, we can be part of it, make it, because what we do is build this distribution network through which products and services flow, whether it's brick and mortar, which is one of the ways, the 8 ways of our business models, they can also in any way. So we love that. I mean, online or anything else. So I appreciate it, sir. A great job. Guys, whoever invited you, the fact they invited you here, somebody asked me once, what do you do for a living, in like one sentence? And I said, we set folks up in business. If you make a certain amount of money, we keep a percentage. If you don't, we waste our time. And matter of fact, the money they make doesn't even come out of their pocket, out of our, So the cool thing about this is the person that invited you here, they will even help you do this. Now, this sounds like somebody said, well, you sound like you're trying to talk me into something. No, that's not the case. I don't believe in coincidence. There aren't the opportunities come like this every day. And someone thought enough of you to plug this in. And all of a sudden, here we are in the middle of pre-launch. We've already done over $1 billion, and between the 3 different organizations come together. Like you said, hundreds of millions of dollars already moved through here. The process, it works. So I say that we're talking about leverage. We're talking about passive income. We're talking about results. We're talking about lifestyle results. Lifestyle results, we're talking freedom of time and money. Whichever it is you don't have, or whatever, maybe you love what you're doing. You know what's really cool? We showed someone last week, someone that really loves what he's doing. But the idea of a good, solid third income, fourth income, whatever, coming in on the back, it's always, the gals will always feel more comfortable, and so will you guys, knowing there's that residual income coming in. You know what, Jeff, you mentioned master strategy. The greatest tool we have in building our business is this master strategy. The person that invites you here will get you an audio so you can listen to this. You find out the master strategy is actually your very own success, because your success is the greatest tool that proves this is in fact doable. This does take work. There's no question about that. But so does everything else. And I say that because here is a way. Let me show you a couple real quick to-dos. The first one is get back with the person that invited you here. All right, tonight, whoever it is, call them, get a hold of them, text them, however you communicate. Talk about what can this mean. Get some information from them. You've already thought of somebody that would be good at this. I'm going to ask you to write these down. There are 3 different categories. Let me just touch on them. The easy list. That's the one, your brother, the one you respect, your best friend. I mean, not the one brother you respect, the ones you respect, your brothers, your family, whoever it is, the good list. These are the entrepreneurial. Who would be good at something like that? And then there's that categorized list, a group that you were part of. Maybe you were part of the football team. Maybe you talked to the guy that was the captain of the team. You were a team once, and now you could be a team again. And here's an excuse to be back together again, doing on a great adventure, if you will, and making money too. So it's just, the categorized list is a way to create the list. And you sort of, like my brother Tyler said, it's a way to feel like you cheated, because all of a sudden a whole group gets in together and it's a big deal. We're going to recommend that you secure your place in sort of a tree-like organization that we built here. And I say that because if you haven't enrolled, we recommend you consider it. It is time sensitive. If it's a good deal today, it'll be a good deal next week. But honestly, your position where you'd be in the organization could be a little different if you don't move as soon as you might. I already mentioned about how flexible our business model is. Let me tell you a source. I want you to go onto a site, and there's a 12-minute audio by my brother. Tyler's a master at taking simple ideas and putting them together and make them doable. There's a 12-minute audio on this site, and that is BOSS, BOSS 101, boss101.biz, www.boss101.biz. Go there and click on Wealth, and there's a 12-minute audio. Listen to that. And then there's an audio by Jeff Ward, talks about this gentleman on there, Rob Terrell. Listen to that. See what there is here. Because if this isn't for you, you want to know up front. You don't want to sit there, and this is not, life goes around once. We don't want regrets. We don't want to sit there and think, we should have. No. Take a look at this and give it a good shot. The greatest tool, other than that we have to build this, is the mentorship and the leadership that we have here. We have great leadership at the corporation. We have a man that has built $1 billion industry, $1 billion networking business that is still $1 billion. He is the CEO, the chairman of the board of the entire organization. Ryan Anderson, he's got a passion for building this. He's at the head, the CEO. Then you come along and then you look at the leadership of the field leadership with Randy and Valerie Haugen, arguably have built the largest organization that has stayed together. Just amazing what he's done. He's a man, and Randy and Valerie build organizations of people that last. You'll love them when you get a chance to meet my brother Tyler. You'll see him here shortly. Tyler is a master at putting this together. Show you to take the resources you have and turn them into incredible results. We talk about Rob and Stephanie Terrell. He's a master of the blueprint. He's a master of how to put it all together. He's the one that introduced Jeff and Judy to the business. And then we talk about Jan and Raylene Hayball. We talk about Greg and Beth Smith down in Columbus, Ohio, and all across the country. Great leaders. Their success is based on your success. They have a reason to help you and that's a big deal. Let me close by mentioning 3 quick things. Next week, Tuesday, June 4th, 8 p.m. Now, this is on a different Zoom account. The person that invited you here will get you this Zoom account, and now it'll be recorded, but it won't be, anyway, you'll have to be on the boss system to see this, but the next Tuesday, I said that wrong. Next Tuesday, you'll be live and you'll hear it on a Zoom. And that's 8 o'clock, and that's Randy and Val Haugen, and they're doing a part of their series called Think and Grow Rich. It's only 30 minutes long, and whether you ever built this business or not, what you learn in that 30 minutes will give you a foot up on whatever competition or whatever battle you're fighting in your regular life, and it certainly will for business. It's a big deal. Then next Thursday, I'll open right here on the same Zoom account. Jeff Ward's sponsor, his mentor, Rob Terrell from Chandler, Arizona, will be doing the open 9 o'clock next week, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Arizona time changes. I never know what it is. It's later than ours. Wherever out west, the timelines change a little bit. Anyway, so 9 o'clock Eastern time next week, the same time as this week's for us. And then on Saturday, the 15th, June 15th, that is our monthly, actually in this case, June webinar. And that's a business development seminar. It's from 7 to 9. And that one, we will actually get with the person that invited you here. There may be local gatherings that join together to do a face-to-face live part of this webinar, or you can even do it at home on the webinar itself. So I say this is a great challenge, is a great opportunity, and there's nothing quite. I've got one last story. When I started making as much money in this industry as I was making on my job, I started out 31 years old. I was broke. Actually, I wasn't. I was in debt. And then I struggled to get my business growing. But at 34, I got a chance to walk away. Halfway through that, I started making like 32, 33 years. I was making more money in the industry than I was at my job. So I was mentally free. When you start making equal money on, like all of a sudden you get that extra income coming in, you got elbow room in the budget, all of a sudden you get a taste of what freedom can be like. And then you take this business the next step and you earn your freedom. And there's nothing like the rest of your life, success based on the success of others and cash coming in on this side. So God bless you. It's wonderful to talk to you.